Hello and welcome to the cbsplit.com training series with Stefan McKenzie. Today we're going to talk about snippets. Snippets are reused pieces of code or just simply segments of script or code that you want to have included on a page, but to manage it separately from the page itself. Some things that come to mind would be like a repeating call to action or add to cart area that is commonly used on multiple pages or even used 5 or 6 times on a really long sales letter. So rather than having to maintain all of those add to cart buttons and VTIDs or tracking IDs and anything else that you may have in that segment of code 5 times on one page or 5 times on 5 pages, you can just have one snippet that has that section of add to cart code and then call it on multiple pages or multiple times on a single page. Another useful thing about snippets is that you can keep the code on the page tidy by just having it show the base HTML that renders the look of the page and not have it cluttered with, say, an exit console, JavaScript, and embedded HTML at the bottom of the code for that particular page, especially if that same exit console, again, is going to be used on more than one page. It's just more efficient to manage it as a global in a snippet. Another powerful use of snippets is third-party tracking pixels, because what you can do with snippets is assign logic to them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call this snippet tracking pixel. And inside is going to be a typical tracking pixel code, but we're just going to say our code for this tracking pixel is tracking pixel. So we'll save that, and then we'll go to logic, and we'll say that if the hop or the CB affiliate, in the case of the incoming post back to say upsell 1, so in the address bar of the web page, when a visitor has bought your initial product and is redirected to upsell 1, and you want to fire your tracking pixel for your third-party marketing, the incoming address bar URL is going to include the CBAFF, which is the affiliate's ID in ClickBank. So we're going to say if the CBAFF string in the postback URL in the address bar here, just like this, if the CBAFF equals logic, so let's just say logic, then fire the pixel or show the content of this snippet. And for insertions, we can say we want to insert it on all pages. And we're going to put it at the bottom of the page. And if we wanted to, we could accept some pages. We could say we want it on all pages except for some random other page. But in our case, we only have one real page for now, so that really wouldn't make a lot of sense. Some of the other options are selected pages, where you actually have to select the page that you want, or selected page folders if you are organizing your content by folder, or conversion pages, which are the way that you identify your upsell and thank you pages in CBSplit, are all pages except conversion pages. So in the case of a conversion pixel, it would make sense to include this pixel on all conversion pages. But in our case for now, we're just going to say selected pages, and we're going to say hello world, and we're going to tell it where we want it, in the head tag, at the top of the body, or at the bottom of the body. So we chose bottom. So now if I save this and go over here, you will see that my snippet doesn't load. The pixel isn't firing because this traffic has nothing to do with that affiliate. and we don't want to fire his pixel for all of our traffic or for other affiliates' visits to our website. We only want to fire his pixel for his traffic. So if we jump back, we say the logic condition was CBAFF equals logic. So if we just change this little string to CBAFF, and of course you wouldn't have to do this, when ClickBank is posting the customer back to your upsell page, it includes the HOP ID or the affiliate ID of the affiliate that made that sale. It's already done for you. So we're just simulating that by typing it out here. So when we hit enter now, you can see the tracking pixel has fired. So that's a powerful use of pixel logic in CBSplit. Another really powerful use of this might be to modify the contents of a particular page based on a condition. Again, if we were to change this to say, let's just get rid of this condition and we're going to add a new rule. And the condition is if the hop is equal to MG231, we're going to say, hello, my name, learn how to type, my name is Mike Geary, which it's not obviously, and I approve this offer. And we're going to tell, we want it to show up at the top of the page. And so now, anytime Mike Geary sends traffic to my offer, at the top of the sales letter, it's going to say, you know, maybe I'll have a picture of Mike and it'll say, hi, my name is Mike Geary and this stuff is great, you should buy some, or whatever. And yeah, so we'll go here and we'll say hop, which of course you know that when your traffic comes to your landing page, your sales letter, from a hop link in ClickBank, it's going to land on that page with hop equals and MG231, I think it was. Oops, learn how to type. Oops. And go. So now, of course, I forgot to save this. So that just gives you an example of the power of snippets and the snippet logic. Another thing that you might try and do is based on, like say if you sell 3 different product packaging offers on your main sales letter, a single bottle, a 3 bottle, and a 6 bottle, and you want to modify your contents of your upsell page based on which of those 3 options they took on the initial purchase. You could do that because ClickBank sends a variable called CB item. So let's get rid of this again. So ClickBank sends this CB item variable and it will have the SKU of your product. So say your product is called 6 bottle awesome, or 6 bottles. That's shorter, let's do that. So now, if somebody bought your 6 bottles, you could show them a custom message on your upsell page or a custom offer. So in your CB flow, in your ClickBank flow, of course, you're sending them to this predefined upsell page, but the contents of that upsell page could be dynamically changed based on the item that the person elected to buy using this snippet logic. I hope that makes sense and helps you come up with some creative ideas on how to use snippets and how to insert snippets into pages with conditions and to decide where in the page those snippets should belong. A lot of our customers used to use snippets also for Google Tag Manager and Facebook pixel tracking. But recently, CBSplit has come up with built-in services for having your Google Analytics and your Google Tag Manager be inserted into all your pages just by putting those IDs into this Google Services tab under Options. And then for Facebook pixels, you can add Facebook pixel tracking as well with this add-on module for Facebook tracking. So it's no longer recommended that you use snippets for pixel tracking, but if you did have a Facebook pixel, again, that you wanted to only conditionally load for a certain affiliate's traffic, then you may elect to do that manually using snippets. However, there's no reason why in the future we could have a similar condition set for the pixel manager for Facebook pixels. So if we had a pixel called Stefan Facebook account, and my pixel ID was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we create, yeah, we already do have conditions. So we can run it on certain folders and pages. The access token is for server-side events. What that means is that instead of relying on the client to connect to Facebook and fire the pixel event, we are doing it between the CVSplit server and the Facebook server using the API. It's a little bit complicated to implement, but soon to become necessary with some of the iOS 14 changes that Apple is mandating to Facebook. So if you do need to implement this type of server-side Facebook pixel tracking, just know that CVSplit already supports it, although it does take a little bit of technical knowledge to get it up and running. So getting back to our snippets, in our snippet insertions, it's basically just a summary of what you've done with your snippets in terms of where they've been included. So it's just another way, or say a reverse way of looking at your snippets in terms of what pages they've been included into. So in the case of this tracking pixel, it's on Hello World, and here's the same basic thing that you see on the pixel when you go to the Insertions tab. Now, when you're working with the actual snippet itself, your snippet may require, when it's called to a particular page, some JavaScript or some style sheet. So you can do that here in the snippet manager, much like you did in the layouts that I showed you in an earlier video. You can also quickly scan to see what layouts might be using the tracking pixel, which was none, and what pages might have it hard-coded or embedded. And again, it's none. So what that means is when you have a snippet, there's another way that you can include that snippet on a page rather than using the insertions method. So let's get rid of this. And this would be mostly only used when you have a particular spot on a page. So you need to control on a very granular level where your snippet is going to be located on a page. A good example for this might be that add to cart button. So if this was an add to cart and we wanted to have it appear 2 times on my page, we would go to the Pages module and view the content of this page, and we would want to have my add to cart right here. So we're going to click here, and we're going to go to this little Insert Snippet drop-down menu by the Save button in the top header area, and we're going to say Insert Tracking Pixel. So, of course, we could have renamed it to Add to Cart, but I skipped that step. So, but it is the Add to Cart that is going to appear, that is going to get rendered. Like, we could easily just jump back and fix this. Let's click on our tracking pixel and rename it. We're going to rename it to Add to Cart. Save it. We'll go back to the Pages menu. Get rid of this little sucker here. Add our Add to Cart snippet. And then we're going to add it again at the bottom here. So There it is. And when we save this and go to the front end, we should get our, we've got to get rid of our logic, we should get our add to cart in the specific location that we call the snippet. And that was important for this particular application because we wanted to control exactly where that snippet was located on the page, not just at the top or the bottom or in the head. We needed to tell CVSplit to put it exactly right here and exactly right there. And the way that that's done is with this short code. And people who have worked in WordPress are familiar with that term, but this short code calls the snippet. And the way that you can access your snippets short codes without having to memorize them or type them in is this little drop down here. And you'll see that we've already gone over layouts, but you'll see that in the layout manager, those same short codes are available. So if we wanted to have an add to cart at the bottom of every single page, we could just include the add to cart in our layout, save it, and then we would have at the bottom of every page, our add to cart button would be there as well. Now, that doesn't make any sense, but I think you understand what I'm trying to say is that the snippets can be used in layouts and in the pages module. And they can either be inserted in a general way, or they can be specifically located on a page by using the shortcodes. That is going to be enough to get you started with snippets on CVSplit. I may do a more advanced video, but for beginner to intermediate levels, this should have you covered. If you have any questions, of course, you can feel free to reach out to us at any time. And this is Stephen McKenzie with CVSplit. I hope you have a great day.